In a past video, I talked about the first great schism that took place within the body of Christ. It parted east from west. Today, I want to talk about the cause of the second great schism of the church, half a millennium after the first. The question being, what in the world caused this? And the answer is indulgences. You might think back historically to the summer of 1517 when a crass and carnal Dominican friar named Johann Tetzel was involved in conning the masses into buying special releases from sin. He had taken a complex Catholic creed on purgatory and reduced it to a catchy couplet. As soon as the coin in the coffer rings, well, the soul from purgatory springs. His pitch was intoxicatingly simple. People could purchase a pardon from God that would purge them from a mythological realm called purgatory. Unfortunately, just like today, there were multitudes who fell for the ruse. The masses, from monks to magistrates, were so intoxicated with Johann Tetzel that they hailed him as a messenger from heaven. They capitalized on spiritual insecurity as well as scriptural illiteracy. Tetzel was fleecing the flock, not for spiritual reasons, but really for the funding of papal projects. And although his merchandising of the faith was outrageous, there seemed to be no one willing to expose his trickery until a monk named Martin Luther came along. As it turns out, Luther's concern was not so much the sale of indulgences as it was the pillaging of the poor by the Pope. The real reason Rome was selling indulgences was not the spiritual well-being of the saints, it was the financial well-being of the Pope and what turned out to be his pet project, the building of the Basilica of St. Peter's. In reality, in retaliation to his protestations, Rome labeled Luther a child of the devil, a drunken German who, well, when he got sober, would change his mind. Luther responded in kind by labeling the Romanist Church a pawn of the devil and designated the Pope as the devil's antichrist. And therefore, 500 years after the first great schism separated east from west, the second great schism created a deep divide within the western half of the church. On one side stood a Roman Catholic Church in desperate need of reform. On the other, a Reformation church rapidly turning the Bible into a pathetic caricature of itself. In the end, Protestants took such doctrinal distinctions of the Reformation as sola scriptura, the priesthood of all believers and justification by faith alone, to extremes Luther himself could never have imagined. The doctrinal fissures that erupted were deep, they were devastating, and unfortunately, they continue on in the present. Oh, that we might have an answer to the Lord's high priestly prayer, that we might be one around the essentials of the Christian faith, for which martyrs in times past were willing to die. I hope that this video reminds you of how important it is not only to know about disunity, but to work towards unity properly understood.